Hello everyone, my name is Loco and welcome to another StarCraft 2 video. Now what I got for you today is a Protoss versus Protoss between two players in Diamond League. Spawning here in the top left hand corner of Catalyst LE and playing with the red Protoss probes. We have none other than Neoclassical. That is a beautiful nickname, and speaking of beautiful nicknames, spawning in the opposite corner, he's playing with the blue Protoss probes. We have none other than CFMCWM. Not entirely sure if that's an abbreviation. Maybe it went way over my head, but I guess I'm gonna refer to him as CFM from now on, or at the very least I'll try. Now I was gonna say, yeah, so this is a viewer submitted match. Now, usually, whenever there's a Protoss player in a viewer-submitted match, the chances of you know, them going for a cannon rush are quite significant. If you put two Protoss players in a single match, right, the chances go through the roof. We do see that Forge first coming up here for our player in red, and he's already made a pylon on the other side of the map as well. Nice little bit of positioning right here. Does make life just a little bit easier. Now... Oh, I was gonna say, CFM will scout out exactly what's going on. Wait, are you kidding me? Did he put a Nexus inside of his opponent's main base? Oh, it's a Nexus Rush. So I've seen this happen a couple of times. It's surprisingly good if you manage to get to the point where you can mass recall not only a couple of Zealots, but also all of the probes. The thing, of course, is that Neoclassical is committing right now to a big push here on the other side. He's likely going to follow this up with more photon cannons. There we go. The one in the main base right here. The pylon is mostly just meant for vision initially, but he's going to follow up with more photons. Yeah, look at that. Oh, CFM is already rallying towards the mineral line. And he's going to be able to mass recall to the other side of the map as soon as this Nexus finishes. The only thing is that this is going to become really awkward. In particular, if he continues putting down more and more structures here. Very close to those photon cannons. I don't think that's particularly worthwhile. One Zealot is already done, though. It's not even hacking away right now at these cannons. So I think that Neoclassical should be able to sniff out what's gonna happen here. But CFM is already saying this is gonna be an interesting game. LOL. Well, here we go. That's 3 gateways here in total. Mass recall will likely be activated here in just a little bit. At this point, Neoclassical knows about absolutely nothing. I think he's waiting for one more. There we go. Well, you will not be able to finish that one. No chance. How many is he gonna make? He needs to go. Like, he needed to go 30 seconds ago. CFM. CFM, you need to go, dude. Well, it might finish, maybe? Alright, it will. It will. Oh, he needs to mass recall. What is he waiting for? Hello? CFM? I guess he's really just trying to... Yeah, there we go. Mass recall has been activated, and he's now on the other side of the map. Now, Neoclassical knows absolutely nothing about any of this. He's gonna immediately run the probes, which I do like, and interestingly enough, I wonder if this is on purpose. CFM did mine 400 minerals. He did mine 485 minerals here, and his opponent actually has 430. So both players are capable. Oh, that is dirty. The main Nexus there of Neoclassical ends up falling. There's a pylon coming up. I think that CFM is likely going to follow this up with maybe another Nexus. I do think that is the correct choice. That Forge will not live for very much longer, and this is a really awkward game. Both players are effectively destroying the opposing main base, except that Neoclassical, after killing this one, can just go ahead and take his opponent's main Nexus. Right, he can just plant down a Nexus of his own and just start mining from this location. And this is a really nice tucked away position at this point. And at the same time, obviously, the same can happen on the other side of the map. They are quite literally just about to mine the opposing mineral patches. That is ridiculous. Neoclassical still not spending his money, which is good. You know, you don't want to spend to the point... Oh my god, is he gonna build a Nexus? Please build a Nexus there. Oh my god. That is awesome. So wait, they are both now mining from each other's base. Now, CFWM, or CFM rather, he has decided that he wants to plant out a Nexus in his opponent's natural instead. Dude, imagine if you missed, like, the first 4 minutes of the game. I can imagine there's gonna be at least one of you that skipped the first couple of minutes of the game. You're like, okay, let's start watching this match from the 4-minute mark. Alright, player in blue spawned in the top left, player in red spawned in the bottom right. Not quite the case. Alright, so this is a bit of an awkward match right now. Now, apparently, CFM does feel rather confident. He doesn't know where the Nexus has been built. I mean, when you think about it, though, obviously, the opponent was revealed, right? He could see that all the probes were located close to these photon cannons, because they're, you know, still at the location that they were at previously as well. If you would have been paying attention to that, it makes perfect sense that the Nexus was built on the other side of the map. Obviously, it's a little difficult to call that, though, but yeah, still, that's such a cheeky position to be in. All right, so CFM is gonna try and macro his way out of this. I really think he needs to start mining from, you know, the base that's a little bit closer by, though. Because this is a lot of lost mining time. Basically, probes mine for about 0.8 minerals a second. Both players are checking out. Oh my god, that's so silly. You can see that this is Diamond League, right? Because of those little moves. But both players are trying to check out if there's any hidden bases. But anyways, every probe mines for about 0.8 minerals a second. And obviously, if they have to travel for like 10 seconds back and forth before they get anything going, you lose so much so many resources. Now, here's the funny part. How exactly are you gonna break through this wall of photon cannons that was meant to kill your base if you are the player in blue? And likewise, if you are neoclassical, how are you gonna follow this one up if you know that your opponent only has a couple of zealots out, but also all of the rest of the map? This could become really strange. Well, I guess it already is really strange, but it could become even weirder. I personally, if I were in this scenario right now, I would probably go for 1 base, 3 gateway, and a robo facility. So I could get some detection out, but also obviously immortals if I was the player in blue and if I was the player in red. Like, I think that's probably the best go-to option. Another great option would be, for example, Blink Stalker. I think Blink Stalker could be really, really good, in particular for neoclassical. Mostly just because, of course, he doesn't need to deal with all of those photon cannons. I think that CFM would be in a really good spot if he decides to just go for, you know, a bunch of immortals to start getting rid of all of those photons. These photon cannons can deal an awful lot of damage. Like, you need an army that's actually quite substantial in order to deal with all of them. Obviously, you could try and nuke the pylons, but it's all very, very risky. You need probably at least, like, I don't know, 50 or so army supply to try and go through that. Now, we do see a lot of gateways coming up here for CFM. He has decided to start mining once again. I think he needs to just plant down a Nexus. Why doesn't he just plant down a Nexus? I guess he feels like it's a poor decision to make because he's already got a Nexus relatively nearby, but it really would be a good choice. Anyways, soon though, Neoclassical is going to be sitting on 2 bases. He's going up to the Stargate. Okay. Now, Stargate, it feels a little bit cheesy, right? Like, it's obviously possible to go for something pretty solid. Void Rays are obviously really good as well, but there's a little bit more cheesiness. I mean, he's the guy that did open up with a cannon rush, though, so, you know, I'm not all too surprised either. There's no Warp Gate or whatever coming up here for Neoclassical. Second Stargate instead. Okay. So I'm assuming this is going to be a bunch of Void Rays as a follow-up. Probably the strongest overall choice. Now, he did already get the assimilators here on the low ground as well. One of the things that I personally noticed when I first started laddering in StarCraft is that whenever you have an opponent that cheeses a lot, and you know, maybe someone's gonna get upset at me for saying this, but usually when I see that my opponent cheeses a lot, they're usually not that great at playing the macro game. So if I was CFM right now in this scenario, I would actually feel pretty decent about this situation, just because I've played so many players that are just super cheesy, and as soon as the cheese falls apart, they, you know, just aren't particularly good at playing anything that is even remotely into the mid-game territory. Now, there are a couple of oracles coming up here for Neoclassical. I think that's a smart move, but it won't win him the game. There's no way. There's already a lot of Stalkers out. We'd love to see Blink actually coming up here for CFM. I do think that would be a phenomenal option. Now, macro-wise, there's no denying that he's ahead, right? Just look at the supply count. He's at 69 right now. His opponent's sitting at 40. But obviously, the longer that this goes by, the more Protoss units will come out, and they can all fly. That's a lot of oracles. Now, oracles have this nasty tendency to murder mineral lines really quickly. CFM here gets a little lucky. Look at that. You can see exactly what's going on. Already the follow-up right now with Phoenixes as well. I do think that's, you know, a decent option. Oh, wow. Rather than going for the mineral line, he's just going for a couple of zealots. I guess there's not that much here to defend that Nexus right now. Did Blue actually find out? No, he never actually checked. He never actually checked, like, the most obvious bases. And he won't know. He won't know. Right now, this is a little awkward, actually, for our player in blue. I'm also very surprised that neither of them really got a solid detection, right? Both oracles use their energy there, so Revelation is not available anymore. There's also no observers here for either player, so obviously any Dark Templar follow-up, right? That's one of the things you have to keep in mind as well. If your opponent opens up with a cannon rush, the chances of them going for a Dark Templar follow-up are through the roof. At least that's always what I assume. Now, third Nexus is coming up. I don't know if I agree with that one. I think there needs to be a heck of a lot more army. Here we go. Stalkers are moving across the map. They don't have blink. It's just 4 Stalkers that are being produced all at once. That does mean that this Nexus is pretty much as good as dead already. If you get enough Phoenixes out, though, obviously you can lift all of these Stalkers, but... I mean, we all have we've all seen how this kind of plays out. Alright, instead of going for the defensive play, Neoclassical is now sort of moving across the map. He's a little indecisive there. Once again, moving the Phoenixes back. CFM, though, has decided that he wants to continue onward for a little while longer here with the pressure. I do really think he should have just gotten Blink, though. Why did he not get Blink? Why did he not get Blink? There's literally zero reason. Anyway, yeah, here's a couple of these, you know, Stalkers now falling already. I don't know if you want to engage there. Oh my god, Revelation being used on all of those spells, but finally we do see the lift up right now from those Phoenixes. And that was already a couple of Stalkers. I think there was 3 in total there that ended up getting picked. Oh my god, this hurts. Neoclassical, why so slow? Why so... That... Okay. Well, it's actually CFM who's playing even slower there. I mean, those lift ups were just so very slow. Alright, well, eventually, apparently, that one Stalker, or rather that one Phoenix showing that he does lift. And he is going to be able to lift up one of those Stalkers here too, but this is still a lot of lost mining time already. CFM, he hasn't been macroing at home, right? For some reason, does he have warp gates? Did he just... No. He's just, for some reason, making stuff... Like, this is such a weird game. What the heck? Like... So this is like, at least when I loaded up the replay, right? Both players were in Diamond League. It was very obvious. I've also seen some moves that really do indicate Diamond level play, but this... Why did he not get warp gates? What's up with that? Why is there nothing but Stalkers? Why is he long distance mining? I've got so many questions. I wish I could interview one of the players after these games wrap up. That'd be amazing. It's like, what was going through your head when your opponent decided to open up with a Forge? You followed it up with a Nexus counter rush. And then you were like, you know what? I'm just not gonna get warp gates. What? I mean, it's not like I'm trying to come up with a good reason not to get warp gates, but I can't come up with anything. Like, warp gates are just so very good. You produce faster, you can produce anywhere, you have pylon power, obviously. Anyways, Neoclassical did get their third base going. He's now also going for a lot of gateways. He did get warp gates, by the way, to power up that one gateway. There's a lot of additional Phoenixes now coming up. Now, looking at this, though, I don't really see... I mean, as long as CFM finds out that there's a third base. I don't really see exactly... Unless he engages right on top of those cannons, right? But I don't really see exactly in what scenario the player in red will come out ahead here. Now, don't get me wrong, Phoenixes are pretty good. But you gotta need, like, charge lots or something along those lines in order to actually properly deal with all of this. Now, he does have a lot of gateways, just about to finish up. There's another Nexus now coming up here in the top right-hand corner of the map as well. CFM is now going to try and make the move up on that ramp. Third Stargate now also coming up. A lot of these shields are already depleted now on these Stalkers. He will figure out that there is a base here on the low ground as well. So he's just simply got... Oh my god, he's going to leave! Oh, he's just going to leave again. Alright, well, one of the Stalkers at least has to pay for this knowledge with its life. But, I mean, you're gonna have to do some really solid lifting, man. Neoclassical, do you even lift, bro? Apparently, these Stalkers, or rather, these Phoenixes are flying away from their duty. They are leaving this Nexus completely abandoned for now. Neoclassical realizing that there's no way he can really properly take that engagement. And all of a sudden, right, another Nexus will fall. But there's one in the top right-hand corner that just finished up. A lot of the reinforcing Stalkers. Oh, my dude. Oh, CFM, why is this so painful? Why are you rallying them one by one? What's the idea? Oh, alright, alright. He still doesn't have warp gates, by the way. Oh, he's just picking them up one by one. Oh my god, that's so many. Okay, there we go. That's so many Stalkers going down there for practically free. 23 Stalkers, are you kidding me? That is a lot. Oh, 24 Stalkers now even. That's a lot of Stalkers that died to Mostly just a bunch of Phoenixes. Like, Phoenixes are usually not a counter to Stalker, okay? And I did think that CFM eventually is going to be able to overpower his opponent once these Stalkers, you know, inevitably get a good engagement off. Yeah, okay. There's like, this is once again an indication that they are in Diamond League, right? Now, obviously, you could be in Diamond League in team games as well, but this is an indication he's scouting a lot. Right? This is an indication that he knows what's going on, and this base will now also be spotted. Now, his response time, let's see when he realizes. Nope, he still hasn't quite realized what's going on. His response time is just a little bit slower than you would ideally, you know, expect at this level of play. Now, there is one Void Ray out. Void Rays are pretty good against Stalkers. Don't get me wrong, but I did the math real quick. Pretty sure the 29 Stalkers beat one Void Ray. In the meantime, though, in the main base, we do see the Phoenixes now moving over. They're picking off whatever they can. But, like, this is just... This is why you need rapid fire. I don't know how many of you are aware of rapid fire, but this is why you need it. Rapid fire is an extremely potent ability. It allows you to pick up units so much faster. And just simply use your ability so much faster. I'll go ahead and link a video where I explain rapid fire in the description of this video, because it's honestly one of the most helpful tools when it comes to StarCraft 2's improvement. One of the easiest mechanical improvements you can make is just simply using rapid fire. For example, lifting up probes, but pretty much everything else in the game as well. Now, this one Stalker, though, maybe he's doing this on purpose. This one Stalker will eventually kill the Nexus here in the top right-hand corner. Stalkers moved all the way back over as well. They are finishing, you know, they are, well, I was gonna say they are finishing their upgrades, but there's really no upgrades at all. Why is there still, like, I don't get it. Why is there still no warp gates? I'm so confused. I would like to think that maybe he's like a Brood War player or something. That's the only thing that I can come up with that makes any sense. I would like to imagine that he's a Brood War player and he just switched over and he's used to playing Dragoons. He's like checking in the Cybernet Discord to see if he can get the Singularity Spike, but it's not there. No additional Stalker range for him. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess it's not there. Oh, well, here we go. Yeah, just running the numbers real quick. Even if you have a heck of a lot of Phoenixes, right? And you can technically lift everything, even if you sacrifice a couple of them to the Blood God. Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty much that. I'm pretty sure this game was wrapped up about 12 minutes ago. This is one of the recurring things in a lot of these games. Like, this game hasn't even been that bad, but in a lot of the viewer submitted games that I've casted, right? It's like one thing that happens in the early game, and then there's like an additional 30 minutes of just game time where nothing really happens. Both players are just sort of steamrolling out of control in this particular one. For some reason, Neoclassical wants to go for so many Phoenixes. I don't know why. Like, Phoenixes do counter everything on paper, right? If you are really good at the lifting thing. And they, you know, he's getting a lot of value out of them right now. I just don't see how he's ever gonna deal with about 1 billion Stalkers. Also, why is there still no warp gates? Well, here we go. The Stalkers have arrived on the other side of the map. They're trying their very best to deal the damage here as well. A bunch of them are just simply derping on the low ground, but eventually they're gonna have to make their way across. Phoenix is still picking up all of the economy, which I guess is nice. The only thing is that Phoenixes can't kill buildings, and Stalkers can. So I can only imagine this going one way. We saw a Cannon Rusher getting countered with a Nexus Rush. Then Mr. Cannon Rusher took his opponent's main base, decided to start making mass Phoenix, whereas the player that decided to go for the Nexus Rush, he managed to obviously deal a bunch of damage with just a whole lot of Stalkers, and Stalkers are just a better all-round unit than Phoenixes are. Neoclassical says, well, mass Stalkers seems better. Yeah. Are you surprised? Like, what did you expect? I mean, there's like 5 gateways out as well, but I didn't see any units being warped in from there, man. I do feel like he had a good choice though. Like, for example, one of the most popular compositions in StarCraft 1 in Brood War was like Corsair Dark Templar or Corsair Zealot. It's a very good comp, and the thing about it is that you could do something similar with like Phoenixes and charge slots, right? They can deal so much damage. There was never any detection here for the player in blue either. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. Special shout out to the Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.